fired up, man.
Super amped, man.
Got a lot of false anger right now.
Love that false anger, dude.
Yeah.
We are recording, guys.
Get it.
We're recording. We're live. Awesome. Get in here. It's the pod. It's the Purvcast. Back to a Purvcast true episode. Grant, Ethan, Pifty on the board. Running
Good to be
everything.
back.
For sure. Good to be back.
It was a long week last week, but one that ended quite well.
A long week of the good kind of long week.
Yeah.
The week you want.
Yeah.
You know, like I was more exhausted yesterday whenever I went back to work than I had been in a long time for all the right reasons. You know, and part of that is we did go over it. Pifty and I, we talked about it a little bit, but I probably cleaned 400 fish.
Yeah.
Because I was cleaning for a lot
Multiple
of
people, right?
Yeah.
And it's not just the cleaning the fish. It's like for every keeper that you catch, and we're talking crappie here mostly,
right?
Some white bass, but for every keeper that you
catch, couple
catch,
hybrids,
right? You're going to be taking off probably, let's say over the weekend you keep, I don't know what the limit would be over the weekend, you know.
Well, it depends on who you are.
60. Oh my gosh. Let's save it. We'll get into that.
Yeah.
But
teaser.
Yeah. So let's say you keep 60 crappie over the course of the weekend, right?
Right.
And then you have somebody else that kept 60 and you help them clean their 60. And then you have,
and then you do that for 4 more people.
Yeah.
Sure. You know what I mean?
Because there's kids that have caught fish that you're cleaning for and you know,
uncles,
old
cousins,
men. Yeah. But then
delinquent friends, all that kind of stuff.
But then you get, for every fish that you catch, you're probably throwing back, and that means reeling them in, grabbing their lip, pulling the hook out, hopefully getting your gear back, throwing them back. There's probably 4 to 5 fish
in between each one of those. Yeah.
On average, probably.
Yeah, I would say.
At least for me it was. Because I threw back hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of 7-inch and 8-inch crappie.
Absolutely, yeah. Which is
not a problem.
Such a nice problem.
Yeah, that's not a bad thing.
For sure.
It was a lot of fun. But yeah, your fingers just get raw.
My hands still hurt. I have cuts and gouges and just
and your fingers are wet the whole time.
For sure.
Because you're either dipping in to get a minnow, pulling up a wet fish out of the water, or you're like, holding or reeling in wet line.
Right.
So
if you're shaking your penis off,
that too,
taking a pee in the tree.
But if you're doing all those things all the time on every cast, when are your hands dry?
It's total saturation.
Not. So it's wet hands that are constantly getting ripped on.
Absolutely.
It'll make you feel it. It's fun though.
Are you guys bank or dock fishing?
Bank.
We were on the bank.
And have you guys ever ran like a
actually
or something over that
fish
spot
on the dock too
to see what's sitting there?
Yes, we had.
Your friend had a boat out in that same water, and he was running.
He had live scope and a fish finder,
Is there a bush or a tree down there that y'all are fishing?
So
quite a few, but
in some spots there is structure. But when we've been up in there when the water is extremely low, and we're directly over where we were catching fish today because the water's way back up. And dude, there's not a ton of structure there. There's a nice rock slope going down to the bottom of the lake that has some rock structure and things there. And then there's little saplings and things, coming out of the water, but there's no big bush or tree or anything in that particular
There was a lot of
spot.
structure on top of the water this
yes,
time.
there was, because the water was coming up so fast.
Because of all the flooding,
Yeah. But, man, it's just the perfect habitat everywhere. And these crappie are, suspending in water, but then coming up and making their beds in these rock and gravel bottoms.
Yeah, they'll suspend, earlier on in the day, they'll suspend out there 40, 50, 60 feet off the bank.
For sure.
And, you can catch them with jigs or just get on out there to them. But, as the day progresses into the late afternoon, evening time, I mean, they start moving in so close. I mean, you can literally just toss a minnow out 6-7 feet off the shore and then just bam,
just done
every time.
Yeah, like
and I could not believe the size of some of these crappie.
Yeah,
I saw this weekend.
So there was like it was either
15, 16, 17 inches. Like
it was one of three things, dude. It was either 7 inches, it was 11 inches, or it was 16 inches,
or a little bigger even.
For sure, yeah. There was not. I mean, it was literally those three sizes, dude.
Which, if you're a bass fisherman or a trophy fisherman or even a deep sea fisherman, like you're not going to be that impressed by those sizes,
right?
But for a crappie, that's big.
Yeah, it's huge, enormous. If a crappie is big enough to keep, if it were a bass,
right?
Insanely huge.
That is wild.
You know what I mean?
When you think about it like that,
for sure. Yeah.
I made the comment to one of your buddies down there. I was like,
nut.
Yeah, nut. He pulled that massive crappie up out of the water.
Yeah.
And I was like, dude, we got to measure that thing and weigh it. That's amazing. And I looked over there. I'm like, it looks more like a bass than a crappie.
For sure, man. And then he dropped it in to measure it. And it was too big for the measure. Yeah, it stuck out.
I remember. I told him to measure it. Inches. He's like, I don't know, man. It's at the end.
Yeah,
we'll have to get something else to measure it with,
which is a good problem to have, dude.
That's what she said.
Yeah, it's at the end.
It's at the end. That's all I got. You need a better measurer.
Not a bad problem to have, my friend.
No doubt. Not at all. I invited Pifty, but he, understandably had
to go fishing with us.
Had some things going on, but we were talking last week how he's wanting to do more like.
I'd love to get him down there.
So he has cooked and eaten more deer than probably you and me combined, but he's like, dude, I've not done a lot of like catch and cook my own fish, so like we got to get.
Did you tell him what we did on Saturday?
Yeah. Oh no, I didn't tell you, dude. All right, and we've got pictures and
you said catch and cook, so I just was like, well, that's about as catch and cook as it gets.
This is what we did, dude. So I took my electric fryer. I had a little gas generator and like a 40-foot extension cord. Plugged it in the little generator, ran it over to my fryer, and everybody. And I'm just kind of jealous. Everybody is down fishing. They're at the water, which is just down a little rock slope. And I'm up in the grass under this shade tree, heating up oil, and used a little bit of fish from the night before. And then people just started bringing fish up to me.
They would literally catch a fish,
walk it up to
the bank, fillet it out, hand him the fillets, and he'd just like dip it in batter and drop it in the hot grease.
Yeah.
Talk about...
Some of that dinner was still alive, dude. And it was...
you know what you call that? That's Truman sushi.
That's Trushi, dude.
Yeah.
That was incredible. That's the best. And
Missouri style. Sushi Missouri style.
For sure, man.
Osage style.
Osage sushi. Yeah. And I literally forgot this. This is what I was planning on using to do, like, record that. I forgot this. I forgot that. And
well, you
remember
the important things like your
oil,
rod and reel, your cookers, your oil.
For sure, yeah. But that was awesome, dude. And I think that might be like my new favorite way to eat dinner.
Yeah, that was pretty good.
Heat up oil, go catch a handful of fish, come up, clean them, and eat them.
Strictly speaking, I've got to know, is that totally legal?
I told a couple people I don't think they test poop.
I mean, it's just the only reason I asked that question is like, okay, we went from like, is
it a possession limit if it's in your bed?
Right. How can they monitor the amount of fish that you kept if you're immediately cooking them on the bank?
Well,
and the only reason I asked that question is because possession limits. That was a real issue.
That was
while we were there.
The
night before you cooked those, actually.
That was a definite issue, dude. On that, I thought about it too, but my thought was like, all right, I don't think there's any cameras. I don't see anybody watching. Like, how are they going to know?
There's cameras all over down there, dude. That's like one of the most highly secure areas in the state.
No, I meant at the in the tail race where we were.
Oh.
Obviously at the dam.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Of course.
There's so many damn cameras.
And they serve a damn purpose.
Yeah.
A damn protective purpose.
Yeah.
You know? But maybe up there at the observation tower, I don't know. Maybe they got that. But like, I don't know. I was looking around. I'm like, there's no way they're going to be able to keep track of who's bringing me fish. We're cleaning them out here, right? They're all going in our bellies. There's nothing left here. Kiddos are throwing the carcass.
Can you imagine
water.
the warden comes down and he's like, all right, guys, I'm going to need to see your fish.
You're trying to tell me none of you caught fish?
Yeah. And you're like, well, they're in my stomach.
Yeah.
And he's like, okay.
Bend over. He pulls his glove down. He goes, pop.
Yeah.
All right, buddy, bend over.
He's like, well, we're going to need to pump the inside of your stomach and examine the contents.
Yeah, depending on how the, I don't know if he's a weirdy dude, he might have been like, well, I can actually get the information that I need from a rectal exam. Please bend over.
Well, I was wondering if that guy was going to give our brother-in-law a rectal exam that night before.
You want to delve into this a little bit, because this is what honestly the wildest thing from the trip, because we're not super like insane out of control people.
No.
But you do occasionally get people that maybe don't know the rules. And
sorry, guy. I didn't mean to distract you, but
no. This is good info. Oh, okay,
daily limit and a possession limit.
Okay, it is different on the body of water that we were at. I think it's each one of those.
I want to know where you can keep 30 freaking crappie, dude.
Fellows Lake.
Like, I want to go there.
Good luck catching them, dude.
Yeah.
I wish we could have kept 30 this weekend.
Yeah, 15 is what it was at Lake of the Ozarks.
Yeah,
it's with special regulations, so that must have been an area with a special regulation.
Gotcha.
But
yeah.
Otherwise, in the state of Missouri, you can possess 60 and a daily limit of 30.
Okay. Well, so cut that in half up there, because that's the deal. I mean, thank goodness we ate some.
Yeah, because did you see that? It said size limit, none.
Yeah, because up there's a 9-inch size limit.
Yeah, Truman and every other body of water in the state is 10.
Yeah, for sure. But Lake of the Ozarks is 9.
Lake of the Ozarks is 9.
Yeah.
But my goodness gracious, man.
So, limit is 30. I bet that our brother-in-law wished that the
limit's not 30, it's 15.
It's 15.
Right. I mean,
and these are dub Bs, right?
Okay, so what we're specifically talking about is white bass,
right?
And so the white bass were biting right alongside crappie, and here comes the game warden down there to like check everybody out. Well, remember we have 18 to 20 guys down there
for sure,
all lined up, have our lights behind us. It's not pitch black out, and he's just going down the line checking everybody.
And give the little bit of backstory as to our brother-in-law is crushing fish all day, and everybody's stoked about it because
he's from Florida. He's up Florida man, and
Florida man.
This is like
fish.
his first time coming to crappie camp, so we were like super jazzed, and
for sure.
And he brought his son with him, our nephew, and his nephew was doing really good and catching a bunch of fish, and they were having a great time, and I love to see it
for sure. Yeah, and that happened for a full day. They were just crushing fish,
but like maybe there just was some miscommunication, or maybe it was just kind of like, because I did hear somebody multiple times say, oh, white bass, no limit, right? Hold on. Meaning no size limit, right?
Ah, okay.
Because crappie, they got to be 9. You catch a white bass, there's no size limit, right?
Sure. Keep it whenever.
So I heard that multiple times, people say, oh, no limit on that, right? And so I don't know if it was a misunderstanding or if it was just a not quite getting it, or maybe sharing stringers. I don't know. All I know is that after 30 minutes of the game warden being down there, he finally makes it down to where Randall's fishing, which happens to be right beside me. And he's just like, yeah, you see old fishing license.
Let me see old fishing license.
So we pull our fishing license out and hand it to him, start talking to him. He's like, y'all caught any fish? And I'm like, dude, I just got back from dinner. I haven't caught anything, which, I mean, I did. I limited out on crappie. They were all in my cooler.
For sure. Yeah.
I didn't tell him that. Didn't really want to walk back to my truck.
Hey, you're sitting there going, I don't really fish, man.
Yeah.
This is all allegedly.
Allegedly. Yeah, we didn't break any laws.
This is pretend. Hey, if the conservation department's listening, we're doing good.
Yeah, we didn't break any laws.
Make sure I get my elk tag when I draw in the lottery this year, guys, if you're listening.
Yeah. His name is Pifty Finzo.
Yeah. They're like, well, we didn't see a Pifty in here.
Yeah.
So, he pulls up. He asked to look at our fish.
Yeah.
And, Randall's all gung-ho. He, like, pulls his stringer up.
He's excited about it.
he, like, pulls his stringer up, and it's like, he goes, how many fish you got on there? I don't know, like 10? He's like, looks like about 40, bud. and Randall goes, well, I don't think so. Maybe some of those are somebody else's. I don't know. So the guy, of course, like gets down there in the water, starts counting out fish, right?
For sure, yeah.
And he counts out like 15 crappie and 19 white bass, right? So he's 4 white bass over the limit, right?
Yeah.
And he's lucky that there wasn't another crappie on there because it could have easily happened.
At any minute, if that dude had showed up 2 minutes later,
Right.
he has
Could have.
16.
Yeah, for sure. Because they were going crazy down there.
For sure, yeah.
And so, and anyway, so 15 crappie and 19 white bass. So there's like 30 some odd fish on this stringer. And, the warden is just like fit to be tied at this point. And he's like counting them out. And he's like, so did you not realize you were over the limit or was somebody else? He's like looking around asking, is somebody else putting fish on this stringer? Blah, blah, blah. And then Randall goes, well, yeah, my son was putting some on there earlier. And his, Shiloh's standing right there, and he goes,
Right.
Oh, yeah, Dad. No, I've got my own stringer now. He's like, these are my fish, and he like pulls all his fish up out of the water to show. So the
His son just narked him, dude.
yeah. But dude, like legit, his son did put some fish on there earlier in the day.
For sure, yeah.
Before they were like catching a lot, and they needed to have separate stringers. But he was just like, all proud, like, no, I have my own. I'm a real boy. I've got, and then the warden just looks back at Randall and he's like, well, it sounds to me like you don't have your story straight, son. Talking to our brother-in-law.
Yeah.
So he looks around a few more minutes and he's like, so does anybody else have any fish on this stringer? And I was like, I gotta save Randall.
No doubt.
And I was like, yeah, I might have put a few on there earlier. I was fishing and they're over by the dock on the other side. Way earlier in the day, I caught a couple white bass. I was trying to catch crappie, and I kept catching white bass. And after, 8 or 10 times of that, I was like, hey, I'll put a couple on your stringer, And so, honestly, and then the warden, like, takes both of our IDs and pulls us up and talks to us about it.
I saw you guys over under the...
yeah, he took us to the Tree of Shame.
That's
That's where he took... That's where Warden took when Ben and Ryan got tickets.
Oh, that's
up there.
true, yeah.
That's the same place. They took him up to the Tree of Shame.
The next day was Tree of Lunch.
Oh, you're right, yeah.
So we redeemed that
Yeah,
tree,
that tree,
stupid tree.
Yeah. You might have seen some tears.
Yeah, I did. I fried... I dropped some of them in there for a little extra salt.
Yeah. But no, like, what's funny is... Actually, the guy was very he was educational, kind of told us like, hey, if you're going to put fish on the same stringer for multiple people, they have to be clearly identifiable.
Right, yeah.
Right, as that person's fish if you're going to share stringers. He's like, I could write you a ticket for that. I could also write you a ticket for being over the limit.
Yeah.
And so we kind of talked it through, but there was one point in the conversation where he confronted Randall because he's like, well, your son is telling me a different story than you. So are you just lying to me right now? And he goes, and then Randall goes, well, I'm a pediatric professional, which he is. He's like,
absolutely.
He's like a child doctor, like in trauma doctor.
For sure, yeah.
And he's like, I'm a pediatric professional as well. I deal with kids every day. And you can't just take what they say as like the only source of your,
for sure, yeah.
of your information. You have to corroborate that.
Yeah.
And then the guy's like, well, I'm in law enforcement and I deal with kids all the time too.
Yeah.
and so it started to get, like this
dick measuring now.
Yeah. It was like a pissing contest.
Yeah.
So finally I just kind of stepped in the middle and I was like, hey, could you explain that clearly identifiable stringers law to me a little bit
more? Could you explain to me that clearly identifiable gender thing?
Yeah. Anyway, so then I kind of got him off on that and had a few laughs with him. And I am a big supporter of like conservation in the
Absolutely.
state.
Yeah.
I report on poaching. I don't want people to poach. I don't want people to,
for sure,
use our resources unwisely or irresponsibly.
Respect for the regulations because you
I buy
appreciate
my deer tags, my duck stamps, my fishing permits, my trout stamp, whatever I'm doing. I support that, and I'm trying to play along with that to make sure that we have these resources for years to come for my children. So I'm all in on that, right?
Absolutely.
So I was trying to kind of deflate the situation, but it was not going well at first. But I finally got it turned in the right direction, and then I just kind of looked at Randall. And I was like,
yeah, no doubt, dude. You're like, rip it, dude.
yeah. No, he was cool. And they both actually the game warden. Honestly, I think he let us off easy on a deal like that. You know,
Right,
he could have
yeah.
written tickets. So
For sure.
you know, hats off to that guy.
And to any game warden, law enforcement, here is one thing: you're educational, kind. Yeah, you could make somebody's night hell, but I guarantee you guys make these guys' nights hell. They're probably looking to keep 16 tomorrow night.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Hey,
Yeah.
you treated him well. It's like no. He was good to us. I'm gonna stop at 14.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
Just the way you treat people makes a big difference. So the fact that he did that helps. But it's absolutely hysterical. I had a little.
I don't know
deal
what it
there,
is
too.
about people that come to crappie camp. They keep getting in trouble because a couple years ago
It's out of staters, dude.
Yeah, it is, man. They give the out of staters a hard time.
For sure, they do. Well, and the out of staters seem to be not doing the right thing.
They seem to be making the hard times for themselves.
Yeah, they seem to be foobarring, dude.
Yeah.
So whenever he came down, he hit I would have been the third dude that he hit, and we had I hadn't really kept track. We had a pretty healthy little run right there. I think Dad and I were sharing, but then
Oh, you were sharing a stringer?
a chair.
Oh.
Wink, wink. Anyway, I had to go.
Dad fills up those chairs.
He filled up the stringer too. He filled up the stringer too. No, we weren't close, I don't think. But my phone was dead, and that's the only place I had a fishing license. So I went up to the car, to Brian's car, and I sat down. And I plugged it in.
Charge your phone for. Oh boy.
In order to get my fishing
Right, yeah.
license going on, and never got talked to. He walked by me.
He probably got distracted with the other situation, and
for
then
sure,
after
yeah.
that, he was like, I'm not even gonna deal with that little punk down there.
Sure. But how
You're welcome.
I told Randall the next day, I was like, dude, why didn't you just you saw he was down there, walk up and go to the car and just wait there? Because you would have gotten the you would have gotten the ticket.
There were two stringers out in front of me.
For sure.
One was Shiloh's and one was his.
Shiloh would have gotten a ticket for having two
Yeah.
full stringers. Dude.
And one of them was like a mystery stringer. I don't know whose stringer it was.
That's probably mine.
He asked around about it, and I was like, I don't have a stringer down here. And he was like, right. I was like, dude, I just got back from dinner, man.
No.
I don't know that he believed me, but that was the truth. I did.
You were off. That's all right. All's well that ends well.
It was a great weekend. We caught a ton of fish. We had a great
Yeah.
time. Got to see a lot of family. Caught up.
If you love catching fish,
Even our kids got to catch some fish.
yeah, Thursday
on
night.
Thursday. So that was a blast. I mean, you're gonna have some situations like that. I'm just glad it ended okay. But
Absolutely, yeah.
man, everything about that trip was great. We had pretty decent weather, honestly. I mean, we've been down there before for crappie fishing in the spring, and it was just cold and windy the whole
Just
time.
got hosed.
So
Yeah,
that was
it was
fantastic.
a blast, dude. Yeah. Thursday night, my family and I, we went and hung out. We went and had dinner at the Mexican restaurant after swimming. Then went back to fishing, and it was hilarious because I casted Charlotte and Wheezy's poles out with minnows on them, And Wheezy, she's sitting there holding her pole. Bobber disappears, and she starts reeling. And this is a pretty good fish, right? And so she reels and reels and reels and has 3 reels with the slack out of it. And she feels this pole go like that, and then she just sets it down.
She's like, nope, I don't like that.
She just
Something's wrong.
Yeah, she just set it down on the ground.
That is
And
hilarious.
I'm like, dude, that's a child's intuition, because I ended up reeling it in on this, 2-foot frozen fishing pole, and it was a gar.
Was it really?
Yeah, for sure. So
wow.
I've got a picture with the two of them.
It was a gar that was longer than the fishing pole.
No, it was. It was
Yeah.
about the same size.
Yeah.
Fishing pole about that big, gar about that big.
Yeah.
So it was the exact same thing.
That's funny.
But it was hilarious because she just
Yeah, that feels dangerous. I'm going to put that down.
yeah, for sure. That's wisdom, dude.
Yeah.
That's freaking wisdom. But dude, such a fun time, such a blast. And I apologize to everybody like listening and watching. I fully intended to. I brought the gear and the stuff, and I wanted to do some, some like content, make some stuff while we were up there. But it's also like, I'm trying to, I want to make sure my uncle and my dad
Trying to keep people in the water.
and
You're trying to catch a limit.
trying to keep older men's bodies out of the water.
Yeah, that's true. That's almost as challenging as catching a limit.
That's the biggest
or catching more than your limit.
Absolutely, yeah.
But the the crazy part about that is, it was good weather, it was good fishing, but not every fish you caught. In fact, I alluded to this earlier. 1 out of every 5 fish or 6 that you caught
For sure.
was a keeper. So you had to do a lot of fishing in order to get that limit. So it wasn't like you just went down there in 2 hours, you limited out. It was like you had to fish like 7 or 8 hours to hit your limit on
For
stuff.
sure.
And so,
Unless you hit the right window and only fished it.
just hit
then
the peak times, right?
for sure.
But because of that though, there's not a whole lot of spare time because you're spending a lot of time down on the water
For sure.
trying to fill that limit.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
if
it
you're
was-
down there, you better be filling your limit.
And I told him too last week. I told Pifty, I was like, dude, it's so hard for me. I have the hardest time taking the time to walk away from the water and go set everything up, set it up, move it around, like try to, I don't know.
Plus, we didn't have our producer there.
That's what I was going to say. I think what we need to do is
We're just
swatch.
we're spoiled now.
I think we need to swap.
How do you do this?
I think we need to take Pifty to go catch crappie to feed his whole family, and in exchange, we do like an hour of a little like production, and then after that hour, we're all
Well, I'll go ahead and reveal.
we're all fishing and filling your stringer with crappie.
I'll go ahead
Bass.
and
Allegedly, Missouri Conservation Department.
Allegedly,
They're not putting
yeah.
fish on my stringer.
No.
100% illegal party fishing. We don't do that.
Only in his freezer, not his stringer.
Yes. Actually, I would like to say, on that note, I'm going to reveal the surprise pick 3. Now that we're to the last pick 3 topic,
Okay.
which are firearms. Okay.
Yep.
And my surprise pick 3 topic is going to be fishing. Okay. So we're going to hit 3 categories on fishing. Okay. We're going to do freshwater, saltwater, and then charters. Okay. So I've done lots of
So
charters.
like inshore, outshore.
So like saltwater is any saltwater fishing you do.
Right.
Freshwater is any freshwater fishing you do. And then charters. Charters is where you're paying a service to go.
Right.
And that would be, but those are my 3 categories. So we can like feed them to each other and, come up with 10 or 12 different types of fishing. Okay. I'll just give you a quick example. Freshwater, right?
Yeah.
Bass fishing from a boat at Table Rock. Okay.
Yeah.
So you're giving species, location, and the way you're fishing.
Okay.
Specifics.
So like trolling for bass. We do a lot of like trolling around.
Yep. For sure.
With the trolling motor. You've done that with us.
Oh yeah.
On Table Rock.
Yep.
A lot of good smallmouth coves there.
For sure. Yeah.
Then you've got like another freshwater fishing type would be spawn fishing for crappie in the spring at Truman, right?
Yeah.
Ice fishing.
Yeah. I mean, that would be one of the types, right?
For sure. Yeah.
You could even do like a freshwater boundary water excursion where you go like canoe camp and you fish up in the northern lakes,
For sure. Yeah.
Another example would be like going and doing the spoonbill. That would probably be under the charters.
Yeah.
right?
That'd be
So
under it. Yep.
So like that's just some. But we've got so many different trips under our belts now,
For
and
sure.
so many different
Like
species.
what's the best?
Species that we fish for? I feel like it would be a fun addition to our pick 3 to do fishing since it's that time of year, and then like split it up into those 3 different. So that was my surprise that I've been holding off all this
Sweet,
time,
dude. Yeah. I'm in.
I figured it was the
love
right time
that.
to put it in there. So
I love that, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm so in on that, dude. Fishing
yeah,
excursions overall, because we had an excursion this week.
yeah, absolutely.
That was an excursion big
absolutely.
time, dude. And whenever we take Pifty and his family up there, and we get them on about 60 crappie, and they fill their freezer.
And it's so
that'll
much,
be an excursion as well.
absolutely. It is so much fun when we get like the little kids down there and they're catching crappie with the minnows,
my
and they're like
goodness.
5 or 6 feet offshore, so it's an easy cast, it's an easy reel in
For
But
sure.
then they get like every cast,
And it's they're
much
so
fun.
excited.
Oh, yeah,
dude.
absolutely.
Oh, it is the best, dude.
Love those pictures.
For sure.
Fun time, man. That
Fantastic.
was great.
I was thinking about changing the podcast name to Scouting America.
Scouting America.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Can you give me the reason why?
Well, I don't know. There's such an honorable, amazing organization that is changing their name to Scouting America.
Who's that?
Well, that's not who they are anymore, but it used to be the Boy
I've never heard of them.
Scouts. Boy Scouts of
Oh.
America.
Oh, really?
Changing.
Why?
their
Why are they changing their name?
Well, because you can't say boy anymore.
Oh.
If you say boy, you're not gender fluid. You're racist,
Inclusive.
hateful,
Inclusive.
terrible.
Inclusive.
Yeah, you have to say just not boy to be inclusive, dude. And so finally, they're fixing things. They're making it right, dude. They're just the Scouting America. Yeah. Following yeah. So all of a sudden, here's what's going on, right? You ready? Ready?
Do tell, man.
Ready. Here's what's happening, dude. Boy Scout instructors. Right?
Okay.
So this is how they're going to fix it. There have been
It's not Boy
all
Scout
these-
instructors. It's Scouting American.
Sorry, Scouting American is America instructor.
Okay, just get it right,
Whatever.
man.
Dude, so there have been all
It's not an Eagle Scout. It's a Kegel Scout.
No, easy. He is Eagle Scout.
Now.
Oh, no. Royal Ranger. Yeah, Royal Ranger. That's right. Yeah. All right. Dude, there are so many lawsuits against the Boy Scouts for scout leaders touching,
Diddling somebody.
diddling. Yeah. They're full of diddlers. So the way that they're getting around that is
Oh, boy. This is
They
an uncomfortable conversation.
they are going to inclusivity instead of touch penisivity.
Do you think they might just get more people being diddled? I mean,
Yeah, this is way worse.
it'll just be girls
This
and
is
boys.
way worse.
Yeah, just co-ed camping.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, it's co-ed camping with a bunch of already freaknoids.
Unfortunately, we're talking about children here, so it's really not funny. But
No, that's what I mean. That's I'm
But, I
actually
mean-
like,
but it is. It's like they're trying to turn it into like basically a Tinder camping trip.
well, they're trying to cover. They're trying to cover their. How about this? They're trying to cover their
Well, I mean-
abuse by adding another gender to abuse. That's literally the long and the short of it.
It's like you caught us with our hand in the cookie jar. So instead of like just being like, okay, we're gonna cut it out,
Give us another cookie jar.
just put some more cookies in the cookie jar.
That's what it is, dude.
Yeah.
I don't know. See,
I actually it's crazy to me, but it doesn't surprise me because like a lot of corporate just any business in our world these days I feel like is just going this direction for the most part.
wow, dude. This is actually I saw it and I thought it was ridiculous, but it's kind of pissing me off. I don't even know that ugh. I don't know. It's hard to. Maybe we should stop. It's hard to even broach, dude.
I mean,
Here's the long and the short of it, though, dude. You start.
I know that
Were either one of y'all in the Boy Scouts? Did y'all do anything in the Boy Scouts growing up?
No. And I
Did
think
anybody?
that-
Do you know anybody who did growing up?
yes, I do.
yeah.
My
I got
father was
family.
an Eagle Scout,
Right.
or pretty close to it. I don't remember exactly the one. But growing up, he wanted us to get involved in the outdoors, and the Boy
Absolutely.
Scouts were an incredible way for kids to get outside.
Could be.
And then we ended up finding the Ranger program, which was through the Assemblies of God Church, organization. But I think is some very interesting stats that I had highlighted here that, we could probably skip over if you wanted to, but the organization, which is Boy Scouts, which was already under huge, had a lot of eyes pointed at them. Yeah, scrutiny. Began allowing gay youth in 2013 and ended a blanket ban on gay adult leaders in 2015. So even being under scrutiny, they created avenues for potential predators, is so hard. It's so disheartening to say, because the program in its heart and how it was founded was to get people
founded with
reacclimated outside. Yeah, like to what y'all did over the weekend. Like there's an entire badge that's that's dedicated to fishing and getting kids outside. So it's just an extremely disheartening thing, but at the same time the Eagle Scout and the Boy Scouts has been so dumbed down over the last 15 years that it's I want to say this might be a little bit of trying to be reaching to be relevant.
Right. Yeah.
Because they become so irrelevant as a program.
True. Yeah.
Well, let me ask you this. And I hate to say this because I can say this about multiple companies that I used to be a customer of, that I used to like, that I think that as companies go down a specific road and say, well, this is our target now, right?
Yeah.
And they exclude me from that, right, through their decisions.
Yeah.
That I think that what that does is it opens up, and we talked about this with cars a couple weeks ago. I think it opens up an avenue. It opens up a vacuum, right? Somebody's going to fill that vacuum. Somebody's going to come up with, something new to say, okay, well, we're going to step into this void and we're going to provide this. Absolutely, and it may end up being better, right? It's going to be painful in the meantime.
Yeah.
But it is sad that's now where we've gone.
For sure. Because I had buddies that were a part of it, and I actually helped some of my friends achieve their get some of their merit badges, like through different activities that
That's cool.
We would go do, and I thought it was neat. I thought it was cool, certainly. But then,
does a bear poop in the woods merit badge?
And actually,
yes, we found some bear poop.
No, I helped him get the badge by saying, "Not if it lives in the zoo." Does the bear poop in the woods? I said, not if he lives in the zoo. And the instructor was like,
it counts.
Merit badge.
In there.
There you go.
I think it's also important to point out that the Boy Scouts just filed for bankruptcy not too long ago. So
bailout.
This is coming out of bankruptcy too.
This is a bailout grasp at
yeah. I mean, and hey, what's the best way to get to drum up more membership is to allow females. So
yeah. Here's the thing.
Are the Girl Scouts still Girl Scouts?
Yes, but the real question is, can boys join the Girl Scouts?
I'm sure. Do you want to see? Let's do it. You should have seen Finzo's curious.
Maybe they should just have one big party and call it Scouts.
Wow. Girl Scouts has no plans to admit boys into the organization. That is a problem.
Wow.
That is a problem.
Okay, you know what I'm going to do?
They are not woke enough, dude.
Wow.
Dadgummit, I don't have a son. How old do you have to be?
If you want these cookies, you're going to have to buy them because you ain't joining.
Am I young enough to get in the Girl Scouts?
Wow, dude.
Can I go apply?
Boy Scouts, bankruptcy, all these issues, problems, letting in, homosexual leadership and boys into the group, now letting in girls into the Boy Scouts,
right.
So much so that they're changing the name, and the Girl Scouts say, no,
boys.
Y'all weird, and we know it. You're out.
That's so messed up.
Good night.
There you go.
Dude. Oh my. Okay, so that's wow. No boys in the Girl Scouts.
Hold on, look at that question right there.
Scouts change their name.
Hold on, look.
To get girls in.
Can I, as a non-binary person in parentheses, join a Girl Scouts troop? I'm sorry, that was just a funny question.
Oh,
that was
geez,
like, the suggested questions.
I wish I had seen this earlier because many of the answers have neither reflect compassion nor current. I don't even know what that is. Gasusa policy.
It sounds like it doesn't fit the narrative, so they don't necessarily care.
Oh, I like how. Oh, do you see? There's more parentheses. Parentheses on parentheses.
I think the thing is, if
oh gosh,
you know what, dude?
I'm gonna start calling them parentheses people.
Rabbit hole.
Yeah. Oh, you're right. All right.
Hey,
are we done?
All right. Here, I'll just say this real quick, okay? Here's what I think the requirement should be.
Give it to me.
If you can't tell somebody who you are, and I'm sorry to some of our friends like that have the name Taylor, if you can't tell people who you are by saying your first and last name, then you have to have a different first and last name. If you got to have parentheses and colors and
pronouns,
symbols, and freaking English, if you have to know English for me to know what you are, I'm out. I don't know what a pronoun is, dude. What if you don't get my verbs right? I'm out.
Homeschooled.
If you don't get my verbs right, heaven alone.
My verbs.
Heaven alone, you miss my adverbs. You're a piece of...
You know what my verbs are? Not my pronouns, but my verbs.
Your verbs.
Fishing, hunting, camping.
Nice time.
And mowing grass.
Oh, yeah. Darn it. I didn't even want to think about that. Yeah, I'm mowing.
My pronouns are that guy in order.
Yeah.
That guy.
That guy.
Way to be that guy. Now, I think that's new.
My pronoun is that asshole.
How about you have to describe yourself in verbs instead of pronouns?
I like it.
All right? Because then if you did that, guess what?
You're describing what you do.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
Yeah,
Actions,
I like it.
Yeah.
You want to let everybody know what you're doing?
Hey,
huh?
That's like Martin Luther King Jr. right there.
That's right.
Content of your character, which is based on what you do.
Dude, here's the thing. This is actually big. All right? Screw your pronouns. Let's talk verbs. What do you do?
We just started a new organization.
That's right. Love, work. That's it for me. But
love and work.
No. I'm sorry. Love, hetero, work.
No, hetero's not a verb though. You've gone.
No. It's hyphenated. It's hyphenated.
Oh, love hetero.
Love hetero.
Okay.
Does that make sense? Does that work? But if we do a verb,
can you just say bawling out my wife?
Yeah, that's a verb.
Yeah,
kind of, pretty much. But here's the thing.
I was just gonna say bawling, but
yeah, but that could be basketball. Here's the thing. But if you ask these people, it's like, all right, so what are
you want me to get more descriptive?
All right, so what are your verbs? What are your verbs? And they go, you got the beep ready. Basically,
you got the beep ready. He says,
you know what? No, but you're like, what are your verbs? And they go, well, I like to, and then I also, and then I do this
to my.
I also, and I behave like.
Okay, all right, that's enough.
You get it though, right?
My ears are bleeding.
Verbs instead of pronouns. I think a lot less people will jump on this.
Yeah,
BS.
I like it. I actually pulled up. So I had a customer call me, new customer. I was putting their information in my phone, and I went to, you know how like you can hit add contact?
Yeah.
So I went to add contact, and I like scrolled through there.
She goes, "Do you want my verbs?"
This is crazy though. I scroll down. I like check like because it'll auto populate like name, like first last name, right? If you get a contact, and then if they have provided an email in there, you'll get the email. And like, so a lot of it's already filled out. You just have to kind of add to your phone, right?
For sure, yeah.
But as I scroll down through there, I saw a new section.
Oh, geez.
And it's pronouns. So if you go to all your contacts in your phone now have a section, if you have an iPhone,
for pronoun
called pronouns. It's like under like work phone, home phone, email address, pronouns. I swear to God, dude. Anyway, it's a deal.
Oh, dude. I'm going to go in and... oh, man.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm going to go in this...
It had to have been on a recent update because Is it on there?
Is that there? Hey, can you enter custom?
A custom pronoun? This ought to be good. Whose contact are you on, by the way, 50?
You can literally type it in. Like you can
dude.
Type it in. You don't have to select. You can literally just type it in. So and then it gives you examples. What a freaking joke! All right, it says so like
Yeah.
gives you 3 options.
50's in.
Gives you 3 options, and the first one it says where it gives you a typing box.
Uh-huh.
It says pronoun that you obviously fill in, and it gives you an example of yesterday she went outside, and then the next one it says I went with her, and the next one says the idea was hers. So it's personal and plural. And oh my gosh, I'm getting a freaking Android. This is a joke.
No, that is insane, dude.
Like it's going to be any better.
I'm gonna change yours to the wildest stuff, dude.
Like my pronouns when I call you.
Your pronouns are gonna be I am head in the dirt, I am head up the ass, and I am doing dumb things. Or something, I don't know.
No, those
That's
are verbs though.
I mess,
Crappie, bass, tilapia.
crappie, bass, big mouth tilapia.
I'm down with that.
I'm down with that too.
I don't
Dude,
think
I
I've
might-
ever caught a tilapia in my life, but it's cool.
I don't know that anybody ever has. I'm pretty sure they were like lab manufactured.
Most tilapia you see in the stores are actually grown.
Like farm grown.
Yeah, they're farmed fish. They're not wild caught. And also, you can tell a lot about that by the color of the meat. So, like a salmon is super bright pink, especially if it's wild caught.
Right.
But a tilapia is just bleach white.
So cousin Steve was
Okay.
telling me that their lake down in Texas, it's a kind of a private like neighborhood lake
For
but
sure,
It's pretty
yeah.
big, and they get a lot of like this like brushy grass that grows up in the lake, so it makes it kind of difficult to boat or fish in.
Yeah.
They stock it with tilapia every spring because apparently he said the tilapia eat all that grass.
Is it helping? Did he say?
Yeah, and you know what happens? He says when it gets cold and the water temperature really dips down in the like late fall, all the tilapia die.
So it just stinks and they do it over again?
Yeah, and like he said, like the crows and the vultures come and eat the tilapia that have washed up on shore, and then the next spring they come and restock it with tilapia, and they eat the
Why not just
the
stock it with
the
carp?
grass.
Exactly.
Some
Yeah.
grass carp. Yeah,
Buy 1,000 female grass carp,
yeah.
ensuring they never reproduce.
That's what he was telling me. I don't
Or
know.
if it's that big. If it's
Yeah.
that big.
Maybe they just
What's
wanted,
up?
Maybe they just wanted to have largemouth tilapia in there.
I'm pretty sure carp, if put 2 females in the same, I think they're one of the types of fish that will change sex.
Like morph.
It'll become a male so they can reproduce. I'm pretty sure carp is that, but don't quote me. I'm gonna
That's
look.
well, it's in Texas. That's probably why they didn't do that.
Yeah. Well, yeah, because they'll definitely morph in Texas. I don't know. Look that up because I definitely thought that you could do like grass carp, 2 of the same species.
Really?
Yeah, and
I didn't know that they could.
and they wouldn't go all Grant on you.
Sex reversal of the common carp can be induced, but I don't know if it can happen naturally. So I was wrong.
Okay. But you're
That's
not
interesting.
entirely out of the realm of possibility.
Everybody's changing genders. Apparently,
I know this. If you do the opposite genders and okay, so here's
Nemo?
gender
Had a sex reversal.
changing fish. Number 1 is Nemo.
Clownfish.
Sea bass.
That's Nemo, right?
Yeah, that's Nemo, dude.
Finding Nemo.
These are the
I wonder what
species.
the woke version of Finding Nemo is going to be.
Finding
Transitioning Nemo.
finding he hey or something. Finding she me. Wow, that's actually interesting, dude. Bearded dragon.
Ribbon eels.
Yeah. Oh, there's something there that says.
I'm sorry, guys. So
snap! There's something that says. Oh, it says.
just so you guys know,
These
what we're talking
species are not required to take hormonal pills or have operations and surgeries in order to accomplish this thing. It's merely a natural thing
about. No, there's no way you read that on Google.
created by the Lord himself to ensure that these species go on. Huh? How crazy.
We were reading
what I read.
through a list of species that change genders from time to time.
Yeah, for sure.
Apparently, if the mood's right.
I don't think the mood's right.
All right, enough of that.
Yeah.
Thanks for the. So we started out with Scouting America. What, Scouting America?
Scouting American, we always...
And we finished with transgender animals.
Yeah.
All right, done.
All right, we're at 50 minutes. Y'all want to hit a segment and come back?
Oh, geez. Yeah,
Seggy.
absolutely.
Seggy.
For sure.
Okay, we're back.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Barely breathing. I'm trying to breathe it in.
Yeah, dude.
See what you did there?
I was trying to breathe the microphone in, dude.
I like it.
It's
pretty good.
You got anything on your mind, dude?
Not really.
I need to oil this up.
It's completely a little squeaky.
A little squeaky.
Yeah, a little squeaky.
What funny stories you got going on, Grant?
Well, I just wanted to share this with you guys because I don't know if anybody else has had this experience before, but it's not terribly embarrassing, but it's enough to of a deal that I wanted to just talk to you about it.
Okay.
So let me just flash back before my wife and I got pregnant for the last time. Last year, right?
Yeah.
Thank you. So
Perhaps not the last time.
we did not have any other form of birth control, and we already had 3 kids. So
Right.
we were trying to be pretty regular about buying condoms and keeping condoms around because that was pretty much the only way. That was the only form we were using
For sure, yeah.
birth control.
Dong bags.
Dong bags.
Some
Thank
people
you.
know them.
Yeah, I know that's how you know them.
Yeah.
So during that time, I found myself making emergency runs to the store
Yeah.
to go get condoms. And one of the issues with that is you're kind of in a hurry. It's usually kind of late at night or late in the evening.
You're aroused.
Yeah.
You're having a tough time moving the steering wheel because for some unknown reason there's more tension on it than usual.
Oh no, it doesn't reach up that far. It definitely definitely doesn't even touch that. But
I sit way up.
I'm just kidding. I have my steering wheel like all the way adjusted down. No, you go back to your cage. Not now, damn it. Anyway,
You're home.
so what I found out is that condoms are more secure, are more protected than the borders of our country. Okay? And let me just tell you how this is the case.
Okay.
So I walk into the store, say 10:30 in the evening, and I won't name the name of the store, but it's like got a big blue marquee with like yellow sun dial thing.
Ah, Walgreens. Gotcha.
Right. And and it is weird because I walk back there and the entire area that sells the condoms is in this glass case with a lock on it, right? And this is like as secure as Fort Knox. I mean, they have a lock and then there's like an outer metal thing with a padlock on it. This is like dual locks. This thing is extremely secure. And I'm looking at the price of these packs of condoms, and we're talking $12, $15.
For sure, yeah.
For like a small pack, it's $6 or $7. Okay? So I'm thinking, this is not like a horribly high-priced item here, you know? But they're locked up. Very secure at Walmart. So I'm looking around, I'm like, how am I going to get in this case? How am I going to get these condoms? Okay? And they have this massive, like, we're talking, have you ever seen,
Can I ask you a question?
have you ever seen a Deal or No Deal? Go ahead and ask your question, dumbass. I was just waiting for it.
Dude, well, I needed your blessing, dude. I was waiting for your blessing.
Okay, I got you.
Yeah.
I was waiting for the question, and you were just staring at me. Go ahead.
You say that in this setting, right?
Uh-huh.
There's this massive case, and you're going, oh my gosh, all I want to do is just get in and get these condoms.
Right.
Do you ever feel like sometimes, like, you know, maybe you're wearing the condom and your wife is like, oh my goodness, this condom, all I want to do is get in and get those babies. So it's kind of like I see. It's symbolic.
Okay.
It's symbolic in
Symbology.
Symbology. This is symbology, dude, because that is
What's the symbolism?
Security and security.
Okay. That's a stretch, but
Sorry, that was stupid.
I feel you on that.
right,
Let me go back to this.
Sorry, I
real
won't
quick.
interrupt anymore.
On my way, also, I had to take a shit real bad. So I went in the bathroom, and they had a sign on the back of the toilet stall, and it said, "Only flush toilet paper." Okay? So I turned around and looked in the toilet, and I was like, okay, there's toilet paper. But there was a bunch of shit in there, too. So I was like, I threw my hands up in the air, and I was like, what do I do with all this shit? Anyway, so I go back to the condom section after doing that. Didn't flush it because I didn't want to break the rules.
For sure.
And I go back to the condom section, and like what's crazy is like there is a way into the condom case, okay?
Right.
There is someone with a lock. It's like in the Matrix when they find like the Merovingian or whatever, and he's got the key to the Matrix, and he's got like 1,000 rings on his key ring.
Right, yeah.
There's a guy in the store with that ring of keys. You just have to find him.
For sure.
Okay, so you could either walk around the store till you find the guy, or right in the middle of the display right there. Have you ever seen Deal or No Deal?
Yeah.
There's a huge red button. You have to like flip it up and hit the button, right? It's like Deal or No Deal, and you have to hit the button. That's what it was. So I flipped it up, and I smashed that button, right? And I'm like, okay, he should be here, like, just like...
And it just went...
I was just expecting him like a fairy to just appear out of thin air and be like,
Yeah.
your condoms, sir. You know?
Horny a bit much, sir?
But that did not happen. Unbeknownst to me, the entire... This is so wonderful. The entire store... The entire blue store. I'm still trying not to say their name. They announced. We'll call it
Waldy's?
Waldy's. Yeah,
Yeah, there you go.
Waldy's. They announced to everyone in the store that I needed condoms. And this like
What do they call that section though? What do they call it?
the robotic voice goes over the intercom and she says, assistance needed in the family planning section. And I'm like, oh, that's me. That's me. Because I'm trying to family plan right now.
No doubt.
I just want to go home and make love to my wife, but I really don't need another kid right now. This is getting pretty complicated. Now, here's the great part.
Sure.
I've been waiting for like 15 minutes. No one. The guy... The little fairy with the keys still hasn't showed up.
But think about the little fairy with the keys.
Guess what?
But think about how much... Dude,
I'm wondering if he's in the back looking at me on camera like, I wonder how long he's going to wait.
No doubt. Look at this guy trying to... Wish I could have a family. You're trying not to have kids?
You don't know what
Kill to have one, man. I ain't even coming out there.
Oh, my gosh. So after about 15 minutes, no one comes.
Right.
So I flip the thing up. I smash the button again, right? And now I'm starting to get angry because I think it's a joke.
Yeah.
Right? And about that time, about 2 other people come up and smash the button.
Because they're wanting dong bags, too.
So it's like every like two minutes, assistance needed in the family planning. Assistance needed in the family planning. Assistance needed in the family planning. We need
Dong bags,
Yes,
dong bags,
yeah,
dong
yeah.
bags.
They
dong
might as well
bags.
just say that
Yeah,
over the
for
intercom.
sure.
Dog bags. So anyway, but what's crazy is like these people are like couples, right?
For sure, yeah.
It's like
yeah.
a guy and a girl, and they're like standing there waiting, and like they're just.
It's not just guy might want to masturbate. Guy might want to masturbate. Guy might want to masturbate.
But so instead of that, it's like I'm just like standing there like
You're just weird.
like looking from side to side, and like these people are like.
You're just weird.
Yeah.
Now you gotta go decide if you just want the regular Trojans or in front of these people.
Oh my gosh.
You ask for the Magnums.
The Magnums. Yeah. Because now it's like a Yeah, it is.
For sure, yeah,
It's
yeah.
a spectator sport now.
Yeah.
So finally, here comes the fairy with the keys. And he doesn't say, your condoms, sir. He literally shows up and he's like picking lint out of his belly button. He's like, All right, guys. Looks like we need to get you guys some stuff out of here. What can I get you tonight?
Want one of them?
And then, of course, everybody tries to go at the same time. He's like, whoa, 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 who was here first? And, of course, the couples were just like, they just jumped right in there.
Right.
Did not care that I was standing there.
Oh, we so horny.
Yeah, pretty much.
Basically.
And so they're just like grabbing like bottles of KY jelly, like just, you know.
They're just like in the aisle.
I mean,
I love you, honey. Oh, here, have. Oh, yeah. Thank you, Condom Fairy. Thank you, Condom Fairy.
honestly, at this time of night, yeah, probably so. But like it was obviously extremely uncomfortable for everybody because each person.
Oh, sex fairy, you so juicy. Stupid.
Each person, like you reach out. Okay, so we're all standing there. He slides. Okay, first off, he takes off like the 3 locks. Right, he slides the glass back, and then he just steps back, and he doesn't leave.
Did
he
you
just
see?
hangs his keychain on his belt buckle and crosses his arms and steps back. And he's like, I'm going to watch and see what everybody gets. This is like a nightly ritual for this guy, I'm sure.
For sure.
And so, of course, each couple like reaches up to get their desired thing. So, we got a little KY jelly over here. We got, a box of condies over here.
Yeah.
Farther on down the shelf, there's like vibes and stuff and like some of like the
vibes,
vibrating rings and
Xbox controller.
like a whole deal. Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
Xbox controller set on constantly getting shot.
Yeah, like you're in the back of a warthog and you just lay down on the gun. Yeah, that's pretty much, that's
just always getting killed.
Yeah, you get it.
Yeah.
But so we are all like standing there and people just start reaching up and grabbing stuff. And, everybody can see what each person is getting. And that's so awkward anyway,
for
right?
Sure. Yeah.
And of course, I just reach for my ultra small, like. I just get like
Microndoms?
Honestly, at this point, I'm so embarrassed and so ready to be done with this whole situation. I just literally just go for like a 24 or 50 or 1,000 pack or something like that. Just the biggest pack I can find because I'm like, I don't want to have to come back here anytime soon. You know what I mean?
No doubt, dude. So you got the Microndoms?
Microndoms. That's pretty good. You should. Yeah.
A T-shirt
that needs to be on a T-shirt.
Microndoms.
Yeah, Microndoms. So I grab my box of condoms. The guy like closes the cage up after like the 5 or 6 people get their items, and then we all of us at the same time start walking to the register, right? Because that's the only reason that any of us came to Walmart that night was just to get condies, right? So you just got this stack of people 5 or 6 deep trying to go through self-checkout. Of course, all the self-checkouts are closed, and they only have one person checking people out, and we all have to stack up behind that person. And that person is just like, wow, guys. No, I swear to you, after the third person goes through there, he goes, so where's the orgy tonight?
Yeah. I was going to say, dude, with every scan, he goes, boop. Smile gets a little bigger. Boop.
Boop. Yeah. And it's about that slow, too. Boop.
You too, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Boop. And you? Boop.
And he's paying attention to who pays with cash, too.
Y'all together? Y'all playing together?
Yeah. I'm going to need to see some ID for this.
Yeah.
I totally hope you had a pineapple on your shirt.
The truth is that was extremely embarrassing. The guy actually it was a girl at the cash register when I went up there. She just looked down at the condoms and actually she didn't say a word. She just like smiled and she was like, well, I hope you have a really good night.
Yeah,
sure, and like it's like, okay, thanks.
Yeah. I got to be honest, dude. I
don't need your patronizing. Hope you have a good night after the crap that I have to go through. I swear though, that place locks up their condoms. So I mean, I am seriously curious why the condoms needed to be locked up.
I don't know.
They're cheap.
I don't know why they need to.
They're
be
not even
locked up.
sheepskin.
Because I've actually started just stealing the condoms from the gas station by my house.
Okay.
So I don't know why.
Are you talking about the ones in the gas station bathrooms? Like the Rough Rider machine or whatever it's called?
Dude, it's crazy. You know how easy it is to steal one of those? All you do is put in 2 quarters and turn this little knob, and literally you can just steal the condom. It's crazy, dude.
Wow. I don't think you're stealing it. I think you're buying it for 50 cents, bro.
What?
Yeah.
No, dude, those are just laundry tokens.
Oh, laundry tokens?
Yeah, I don't think they do anything, dude.
I've always wondered, actually, you should tell this story. Are we going to tell the same story?
Well, no, I was just going to...
Gas station condoms?
And
our friend?
Jeez, dude. I'll tell you what. Let me throw this note out, and then you tell the story.
Okay.
Because I
mean, if we're running long, I can tell it some other time. I just thought it would be a good time.
We're definitely running long.
Okay.
What?
We got 27 minutes left, guys.
Okay, 27
I say,
total.
okay.
That's all we got.
Tell you what. Make a note. We need to do the gas station condom purchaser story. This is Tybee Island, Georgia.
Yeah. Location is very important. Yeah. I will say this. I was going to say, this has happened to me a lot of times where, like, ordinarily I prefer to buy, Connie's, like, at a health store, like Walgreens, something like that, Walmart, right? Better value. But there have been a lot of times when it was like, oh my gosh, we're out. And had to run to the old...
I mean, you have two options.
Had to run to the old Conoco.
Yeah.
And...
Oh, you did that.
And restart. I've done this. And the thing is, like, it is weird because at, like, the Conoco here by my house, there are people that have worked there for a long time. And I'm in there all the time buying energy drinks, coffee, beer, candy,
right? Whatever
it might be. I'm in there frequently, and it's just something different when you walk up and you throw that thing down on the table.
They actually have packs of condoms there.
Yeah. They got 3 packs of Trojies and a couple different.
Do they have
things.
them locked up?
No, hanging right there by the little Tylenol bottle.
Next time, instead of going to Walmart and buying like a 12-pack or a 20-pack at Wally, what did you call it? Waldy's.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go. I'm just gonna go to Conoco and I'm gonna get like 10 packs of those and put them on the counter.
For sure, you'll pay $1,000, but you'll have what you need. But at
least I don't have to hit the red button of shame, dude.
Well, that's what I was gonna say. When you see the person at the register, like, quite frequently, and then you go grab it, it doesn't matter. It's like, oh, hi, Trisha, I'm having sex tonight. Maybe a couple times, and I'm not sure which one I'm going to be liking the most. So here's these boxes.
I'm going to have some options tonight.
You know what I mean? And by the way, it's with my wife.
Yeah. So don't get any ideas.
Yeah, I'm not buying these to just hang out up here. Yeah. I'm going home.
I'm not just going to put these on and ride around in the truck for a while.
Yeah, for sure. I ain't putting these on layaway until, No, there's definitely something. What do we got here? Total 100%.
Oh, thank you, Pifty. Look at this guy.
This is pharmacies, not including major stores like you were talking about. So pharmacies only. This is an average of 8 pharmacies that they.
You're looking at condom thefts.
This is a unit.
This is
a condom. Is a pack of condoms.
Okay.
176 packs of condoms were stolen from these 8 pharmacies in 3 months. So it's a very highly stolen item.
Sought after.
So it's not an expensive item because they talked about in this article that I've been reading while y'all were talking. It's not an expensive item.
Is it because people are embarrassed to buy it?
This study doesn't go into the reasons of why a condom or a pack of condoms would be stolen.
Does it have an age limit on it in some states?
Dude, I'm pretty sure that's
true.
I'm pretty sure that Waldy's had an age verification.
I think you have to be 18.
Yeah.
At least 17, I would say, to buy condoms.
For sure, yeah.
I mean, I would just go, like, where my first college was. They just gave them out for free.
Yeah, for sure. I'm pretty sure nowadays we're giving them out.
Did you have the condom fairy walk through the halls with, like, a massive bull? No, or he's pulling behind a little red flyer wagon behind him loaded with condoms, and he's like, get your free condom.
Each floor had, like, one of those envelope containers people would put mail into, and it was just, they just would deposit condoms into, and you would just take one.
Seriously.
Take one out of it. On the floor. Each floor had one.
Did it have your name on it?
No, it didn't.
So people could see who had pulled their condom slot? It's like Tinder before Tinder existed.
No, dude, it's the ultimate Valentine's Day, like, present. Like, you look in your envelope, and it's like, dude, somebody got me a condom!
Woo!
I'm totally fornicating!
Oh, my God.
which is what that is.
Yeah, I know.
So the pharmacy that had significantly higher sales as well as theft was the closest to university students.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah, okay. So
they had both.
they're too poor to buy condies.
That's crazy, dude.
Well, they should have gone to your school then. 50.
Exactly.
Yeah, for sure. Oh my gosh, dude, that's insane.
Anyway, funny condom stories. Like I have several more, but for time's sake, we'll just leave it at that.
We
Like,
can make a whole podcast off of
yeah,
condom stories.
yeah. I mean, it's just like that. That seems so over the top.
I've got a couple that
We have to protect these rubbers.
I think I've got a couple that involve the little ones thinking that we got balloons.
Oh my gosh, water balloons, guys.
Yeah, not used.
And your neighbors come out, they're like, "Are those condoms they're throwing around?"
Do y'all want to hit a segment before we go to pick 3, or just
No,
go straight from this topic into pick
Let's
3?
do it. Let's
jump right into pick 3.
dude.
Okay,
Let's
cool.
do it. Yeah.
What a segue. I hope you have a good one. We're going from shooting your.
Oh, actually, this is easy, homie. Protected shooting, unprotected shooting. Unprotected shooting is actually the topic that we're covering this week because we are on to firearms as the next, 3-topic umbrella
Pick 3.
of pick 3. This
Looking
week's
forward to it.
is hunting. Okay, and 50, you're gonna have to keep us updated on just like how much time we've got, right? But Grant, are you ready?
Yes.
All right, so I'm putting out. You know what? I went pretty much deer hunting mostly, right? We went deer hunting, or did you add some?
No, we big game, but you also had one in there that's a small game, like a varmint.
For sure, yeah,
So,
yeah,
this is caliber based, not a specific rifle.
yeah. More so
Oh,
caliber
we're
based.
not doing specific rifles.
right
For this one, this is Ethan serving Grant.
Okay.
So.
Not like brand wise.
Yeah.
Like I'm gonna go caliber, and then you pick your favorite caliber and which brand do you like.
Okay, I got you.
And then I'm actually, when we hit the bottom of this list, I'm gonna add a couple because we are talking hunting. I'm not gonna add a lot. I'm just gonna add a couple.
Okay.
Okay. Because I don't know, my mind was on deer hunting, but truthfully, we're talking hunting.
Yeah,
So,
and
like,
I mean,
we do more than that, right?
And like, I think some brands have like a really good gun in that caliber, whereas other brands do not.
Right. Yeah.
So-
Everybody has a for sure. All right. Grant, you ready, man?
Absolutely. And is this kind of the format we're going to go with self-defense as well?
Yeah,
I kind of like throwing out like caliber and type, but not necessarily brand.
Maybe with self-defense, we throw out like some favorite brands too.
Okay. I'm only asking because I assume we're going to do self-defense next week, right? And then we'll finish with recreational.
Shotties.
Yep.
Okay.
Shotties is when?
Self-defense is next, and then recreation.
Self-defense
Oh, okay.
is next week.
All right.
and then-
Okay. So all right.
So, technically, So technically, with hunting, if you wanted to throw in a shotgun,
That's what I was
you're
going
to have to add something.
Absolutely.
I was going to throw in a couple
I
hunts
mean, think about the duck hunts we've been on,
for sure.
turkey hunts, whatnot.
I was going to
so.
throw in a couple hunty.
Yeah, so be open-minded at the end of the list.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm throwing in a couple shotties at the
I've
end.
always tried to like respect your list that you gave me, but if I'm given the freedom to add one or two, I'll do it.
Well, yeah, and I'll probably add. I would imagine a couple at the end that you'll like. All right, you ready, man?
Give it to me.
All right, so here we go.
Oh, good list.
We're gonna go 30-06,
Okay.
30-30,
Well, I like
270,
both. Okay.
300 Win Mag, 22 long rifle. You can't leave that out.
I mean,
I've known a lot of
22
people.
long rifle is going to be like as far as like a squirrel hunting or varmint gun, you can't beat it. So
For sure. I've also known a lot of people that have killed deer with a 22 LR.
well, now it's
So-
illegal. So hopefully that was before.
Okay, well, yeah, that was in the past. 223.
I think 223 is the legally smallest round you can use in deer hunting.
Yeah, if you're a longtime listener of the podcast, you would have heard Grant say that probably a year ago.
Ethan's a
wow, that's
long-time
insane.
listener of the pod.
Yeah, no, Whoa.
I'm just messing with
You said that? The
It was
300 Blackout,
Yeah, okay.
7.62, 6.5 Creedmoor, and the 7mm mag, I'm assuming.
The 300 blackout. I'm trying to think of Are you trying to like hunt like coyotes or something? Trying to be quiet with that?
No, that's
a subsonic round.
Can be
300 blackout.
Can be if it's over 220 grains.
Okay.
Like for example, I own a 300 blackout.
You do?
Yeah.
Is it
like for example, I have 115 grain XTP hollow point that is legal to shoot deer and pigs with. So. Yeah.
The reason I asked that clarifying question, I'm not even trying to hijack this, but
no. Yeah, you bet. Yeah. We talked about this last week. You and Jay are going to be better hunting references than I am.
Sure. Well,
now obviously I'm the best fishing reference, but you guys are going to be better.
Well, congratulations, we get to do pick 3 fishing here soon, so it's going to be
sure.
Yeah.
Domination.
So the 300 blackout, it's interesting because Ella, for her deer hunting, we actually are using a clip because you can't have even if you don't have 30 rounds in it, you can't put a 30 round clip to go hunting. And I was looking around trying to find like a smaller clip to put in our 223. I couldn't find any in 223 5.56, but I did find a couple 300 blackout, and the 300 blackout clips go right into the AR, and you can feed them AR rounds.
It's the exact same size of round except the bullet's larger. It's a significantly larger bullet.
And so that's what we've used, and it works just fine. So it's kind of that was interesting to me. So anyway,
good deal.
So starting at 300 blackout, go back to your list.
7.62.
Okay, so like a SKS, something along those lines.
Yes, sir.
I mean, I know there are a lot of other rifles that
for sure, but
I'm just saying in our past,
yes,
we've actually used that
in our lives. We have some pretty solid experience with those. 6.5
AK. I like to hunt with an AK.
Yeah, for sure.
6.5 Creedmoor, nice.
Yep. 7mm mag.
Ooh.
And then here's what we're adding.
Okay.
All right, we have to. I'm going to add it.
I mean, you've only given me rifles.
For sure, yeah. Because I made the mistake earlier, but here's what I'm going to do. There's not as many options here with the other options.
Agreed, yeah.
Okay, so 12 gauge.
Okay, pumper automatic.
Well, we're going caliber here, right?
Okay.
So 12 gauge, or in this instance, gauge, 20 gauge.
Okay.
Honestly, dude, 410.
Okay.
410's a solid one.
I mean,
that's a nice little.
You're pretty much there on shotguns.
Yeah,
between those.
On shotties, that's pretty much good. And then I'm gonna throw one more in, okay? And I'm just gonna throw in a
minigun, just in case you need to kill a lot of animals real fast.
a nuclear bomb. What do you think you could kill the most with? Go.
You've been playing too much Duty.
Yeah, no doubt. Not enough of it.
Or Nuketown, rather.
So just clarifying, are you looking for versatility? Like for your list specifically, are you going to pick your top 3 based on how versatile they are or what your favorite are?
I'm going
gonna
favorite.
Pick my favorites.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that's all it is. Yeah.
And I'd base that on what I like to hunt and what I know are good guns.
For sure. To that token, I would also throw in a crossbow on that list if you want it.
Yeah.
Right. But when it comes to hunting,
not firearms though.
Do not include Finzo. I told you that wasn't a good idea, dude. I told you not to do that. I guess 16 gauge would be the only other thing that like you might want in there.
Yeah, I mean
10 gauge, but that's what we're gonna use.
I mean, you could break down all the gauges, but
for sure.
I think 12 gauge, 20 gauge, 410. You know, you're good. Like that.
Sure.
A lot of that. Some of the in between, like the 16 gauges and stuff like that, it kind of depends on, obviously we're probably hunting fowl at that point. What kind of fowl, are we going pheasant hunting or are we going quail hunting? Are we going, so that's, kind of breaking that down. Or even sporting clays or whatever. So let's see here. I'm going to say, I'll just get it going. You ready, Pifty? Ready, Ethan?
Yeah, you want to just look into those you and your stupid eyes just to look right in that.
Oh, right in the camera? Oh man. Ready to go hunting, dude. Yeah. Getting jazzed. All right, here we go.
What are we talking about here, Grant? We're talking hunting, weapons.
We are
firearms. Hunting firearms.
We are on pick 3 firearms, and we are on hunting firearms specifically this week.
Yep.
So my pick 3, Ethan's given me a great list, and I'm just gonna throw out my top 3. My number 3 for me, I'm gonna go 12 gauge, but I'm gonna give you some specifics on that.
Okay.
It would be, I own a 12 gauge Weatherby, and I have killed so many ducks with that, and I mean, it is a great shotgun. I love that shotgun. However, if I could choose one, I would probably choose like a Benelli 12 gauge that was an automatic, not pump, because mine's pump.
Yeah. Yep.
And so the automatic just gives you, if you've got like a real tight grouping of birds and you've got to get 3 shots real quick, and you don't have to waste any motion.
Nice, dude.
Bam, like that. It is 100% awesome. And I've shot some 12 gauges, auto loading 12 gauges that I loved, and that Benelli is pretty sweet
For sure.
Pretty sure Benelli had a shotgun that they used back in Vietnam as well.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, and I think it was a nasty dude.
Right. So that's got like little, most of the manufacturers of a lot of these hunting rifles, like the 30-06 back in World War II.
Absolutely, yeah.
That was like the standard infantry rifle.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
Like, dude, think about this. This is wild.
Like I think the M1 Grand
Was 30
chambered in 30-06, I'm pretty sure.
I think so, dude. And just think about this, dude. You're taking a 30-06 rifle, which when you go shoot it, you're like, man, I understand I'm holding a lot of power here, right? And that's the only context we've ever known it in, is I'm going deer hunting, and I know this thing can kill that deer, and this 30-06 will do the trick.
Absolutely.
But then you get shipped halfway across the world, and they go, okay, all right.
Go ahead, just finish thought.
They go, dude, this weapon will kill what you need to.
Yeah.
It's other dudes.
Yeah, I mean, and that's
Tough thought.
Yeah, it's blowing big chunks off of them.
I'm sorry.
You're doing it.
We got 10 minutes.
All right, so I'm gonna hit my my number 2 on this list is gonna be a 300 Win Mag. The 300 Win Mag is kind of a bucket list gun. I don't own one yet, but my brother Justin owns one, and I watched him kill a deer on the run at 293 yards last fall, and that thing was, put it through the bottom of its heart at that. Jay did a great job shooting it, but that's a sweet shooting gun.
Let's be honest, it was all the gun.
Yeah, but I definitely want one. I think it's a beautiful gun, especially some of the distance ones that they've got out there, but I won't get into that right now for time. And then my top gun, and the only reason it's my top gun is this: there's a lot of guns that are way more sexy than this gun, but I have killed every single deer in my entire life with this caliber, with this gun. 30-30. I've never killed a deer with anything other than a 30-30, and I've killed a lot of deer.
That's
so it's like,
awesome.
Man, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. I've got a lot of good memories with those guns. I love the Marlin 30-30. It looks like an Old West, that lever action 30-30 Marlin, specifically Marlin, for me anyway. But beautiful guns, and normally the wood job on them is nice stain, and it's got like the
absolutely
the little prints on them and stuff. So there it is for me, my +1. If I had to just jump right out and grab a +1 off that list, it's probably going to be the 22 long rifle. I was pretty close to putting the 223 AR platform on there, and I do like that, but I just feel like if I was ever in a survival situation, I think a 22 long rifle, because I got lots of bullets, and that is a very easy gun to operate, to keep clean, and to kill small game with.
Sure, yeah.
Probably stay alive for a long time with given enough ammo with that gun. So
absolutely,
I'd say that's kind of like a survival gun. So there you go.
Yeah.
That's
I
my
love that,
+1.
dude. Love that. I'm gonna go for number 3. I'm gonna go 270.
Okay.
That's actually the rifle that I used to
kill your deers with.
my first deer.
Oh, okay.
Just my first.
That's your first one, okay.
Right. And then
never forget your first.
Never forget it, dude. Never forget it, man. Number 2, I'm going with a 12 gauge Stoger shotgun, which is made by Benelli.
Oh, okay.
And we'll do everything that Benelli does.
You don't happen to have one of those, do you?
Might. Just might happen to have one, yeah. Semi-auto, 28-inch barrel, black, just cycle all different varieties of shells in no particular order, and just runs flawless, man.
I know you've wreaked havoc on a lot of ducks with that one too.
Yeah, lot of havoc on ducks. Also wreaked havoc on one of our buddy's girlfriends. Whenever she goes, "Hey, can I shoot it?" And I said, "Yeah, absolutely." And I asked our buddy, I was like, "Dude, can I do a little prank here?" And he was like, "Yeah, I don't care." So what I did was I put a 3.5-inch turkey load in first into the magazine, and then I did 2 3/4, 2 3/4, 2 3/4, 2 3/4. So 5 shells. First,
that's like half the kick of that.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
Dude, yes. First 4, 2 3/4.
This ain't bad.
She shoots one, and it's kind of like pop. And she's like, "Oh, that's not near as bad as I thought it was gonna be." And then bam, 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 blue. She goes, "I don't know what it was about that last shot, but oh my gosh, it hurt so bad." Thought it was hilarious.
It popped my boob.
Loved it. Yeah.
Just kidding.
And I guess I need to finish out here real quick. We've got
what's your number 1?
Number 1, I don't have one yet.
You don't have one?
No. I mean one of these.
Okay.
300 Win Mag.
Okay.
Hands down.
Oh, you don't have a 300 Win Mag yet?
No.
But it's coming soon, hopefully.
Yeah. So it's
I guess that makes 2 of us because we're both pretty big fans of that caliber.
Absolutely. Yeah. And then you want to know what my 4th one is? It's
Justin, I do want to shout out our brother Jay. Has that 300 Win Mag.
He does.
And it's the BAR. It's a Browning.
Yep. You know who taught him about 300 Win Mags and why you should get one?
No idea.
Oh, me.
This guy right here.
Yeah. Told him all about it, dude.
It's a sweet gun. And it's verified. You know, I've watched him. Yeah.
Oh,
so,
yeah.
Get it.
It's a bad
Don't
one.
delay, man. You should just do that tomorrow.
Yeah, totally.
You got a birthday coming up, man.
I do. You should get me one.
Okay.
I'm down, dude. I will forgive you if you get me a 300 Win.
Well, so do I. So you need to get me one. My birthday's in 2 days, by the way.
Oh, yeah. Happy birthday, bro. For sure.
Cheers.
Yep. Merry Christmas. I'm actually going to go 44 mag.
Ooh.
I have killed, and I'm talking lever action, brush gun, 44 mag. I have killed a lot of deer with the 44 mag. And that thing, I have never seen a deer, usually short shots, but I've never seen a deer take another step after I shot him. Never seen another step. And it's small, it's light.
Are those the
powerful.
big long bullets? They're not.
Yeah.
They don't have like the sharp point, right?
No,
they're more. They almost look like the 6.5 Creedmoor.
You're exactly right. Yes, they're not a hollow point. They're blunt. Seems like a pretty short, fat projectile.
Is it true that you
and
can?
A pretty nice casing.
Is it true? Yeah, right.
Sure.
Is it true that you can use rounds like the 6.5 Creedmoor and the like 44 mag and stuff like that in a state where you have to use slug guns only? Because those are not technically ballistic rounds,
right? That I think it's state by state.
Because, like, you know, Pennsylvania, New York, all those places up there, all those
Ohio,
liberal bastions, Iowa. Yeah, right. Actually, I think those places are just because it's so flat.
They're flat. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, it's not necessarily political. It's just more geographical. But
I just didn't know if those calibers could be used in a slug gun capacity.
I got to find out. Honestly, I'm not sure.
Do some research.
If I could do a 44 mag and go hunt in like Kansas or Iowa where you cannot use, where you have to use a slug gun.
It'd be great.
Oh my goodness, dude.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it'd be sick, dude. Hey, I think we're out of
that was a great pick 3.
bro.
I enjoyed that.
Yeah, that was a ton of fun. Next week we've got
self-defense.
Yep,
self-defense firearms. Sweet.
So you presenting to me.
Yep. Hey, man, loved it.
So good to get back to it, man.
Yeah,
for sure.
Awesome. We will hopefully have some more stories. Loved going fishing with you, by the way. That was awesome. Had such a great time, and I'm glad we got to see all the family. And
for sure.
Good to be back in here.
It's good to have the band back together. And see you next week.
All right. Peace.
Peace.